Is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horses.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? It's shrieking and it's crying, says there's trouble at the mine. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that little girl pray? Can you hear that little girl pray? Can you hear that little girl pray? Bring my daddy home today. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the mine rescue team? Can you hear the mine rescue team? Can you hear the rescue team listening for the miners scream? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the trapped miners choke? Can you hear the trapped miners choke? Can you hear the miners choke on the fire, damp and smoke? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the mine widows moan? Can you hear the mine widows moan? Can you hear the widows moan? Gonna chill you to the bone. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the mine owners lie? Can you hear the mine owners lie? Can you hear the owners lie while another 12 men die? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? It's shrieking and it's crying, says there's trouble at the mine. Can you hear that steam whistle blow?
All right. The show is Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin, and our guest today is Steve Suffet.
Yes. Oh, Ralph, thank you.
With Ann Price.
Hello.
Hi, Ann. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
That's a great song.
Yeah, well, thank you again.
And I understand that you're the author.
I
It sounds traditional.
I am the author. It sounds traditional, and I try to write traditional folk songs. So I guess maybe that's a little less than modest. Now, what I do is I write songs that sound traditional, and that song I wrote, just about almost 5 years ago after a mine disaster at the Sago Mines in West Virginia. And shortly afterwards, I was at a music weekend in Amherst, Massachusetts. People's Music Network has these 2 weekends a year, and one of them was in January, and this was about a month after the mine disaster. And I was in a songwriting workshop, basically a sing-around. where we're taking turns with new songs we had written. And do you know Paul Kaplan from Amherst, Massachusetts, a fine musician? He was leading the workshop, and I believe also Jay Manquita was also involved in the workshop. You might know Jay.
Jay's been a guest on the show.
And what happened is it was just simply my turn, and I sang the song. The tune really hadn't been developed as much. It was somewhat different from the way I sang it, but the lyrics were pretty much the same. And after everybody sang a song, the other people in the workshop made suggestions. Jay made some suggestions, Paul made some suggestions, other people did, and I went home and I reworked the melody. And that's the song. Well, thank you.
Excellent. So what else would you like to play for us?
Oh, I have a lot of songs, but maybe they're not that grim, all of them. Maybe some of them are. I don't know. I'm feeling it. Well, where is the low-rent district? Where are the tenement slums? Where can I find a cheap place to live? I don't mind the winos and bums. Where can I find a cold water flat for $21 a week? Where is the low-rent district? That is the housing I seek. Go away, old man, go away, old man, go away, old man, go away. And where is the all-night coffee shop where I'd while away my time? I'm not naive enough to think coffee still costs a dime. But I don't want to pay up to 4 smackaroos for what they call a venti of Joe. Where is the all-night coffee shop? 'Cause that's where I want to go. Go away, old man, go away, old man, go away, old man, go away. And where is the $1 movie house with gum stuck under the seat? And where is Tony's barber shop? It used to be on this street. And where can I find the land of the free and find the home of the brave? 'Cause all I can see is the land of the rich. It's becoming the home of their slave. Go away, old man, go away, old man, go away, old man, go away. Go away, old man, go away, old man, go away, old man, go away.
All right.
And
so I should mention that it took quite a long time to get you guys on the show here.
yeah, yes, it
Every
did.
time I contacted you, you seemed to be either taking off for Great Britain touring or
That's correct.
not getting back in time from Great Britain.
We've been to England together twice. Once in the fall of 2008, and the other time was in the May of this year, 2010. We're going again in May of 2012. If our physical and our financial health hold out, we will. Yeah, but it's an honor and a pleasure to be here. I mean, I wasn't trying to put you off. But we've been busy, and we're not touring musicians. We are local people. We are members of the Folk Music Society of New York, also known as the New York Pinewoods Folk Music Club. We go to their concerts, we go to their weekends, and we're just busy with a lot of things. Some of it music, some of it other things. And we're happy we finally made it out here.
Does Pinewoods have a website we can plug?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it's folkmusicny.org.
Right, www, and then you say folkmusicny without any spaces or anything, just one word, folkmusicny.org for org.
Great.
And anyway, Ann and I, this is Ann Price, who is my part-time singing partner. We ran into each other because of a New York Pinewood singing event, probably about 13 years ago. Was that right?
Right.
It was Sing Around, just a community center in Greenwich Village, right? Westbeth Community Center.
That's right.
Went and as soon as she started singing, I said, "Oh my God, who is this? Is this Joan Baez's hidden sister?" I mean, I knew about Mimi and I knew about Pauline. I said, "Did she have another sister that I hadn't heard about?"
Oh, well, I grew up listening to Joan Baez. I couldn't help it. I said it.
And
Everybody's been telling me I sound like her since I was 12.
Yeah.
But I'm flattered by the comparison.
And I grew up. Well, I grew up with parents who were jazz fans. They didn't really like folk music too much. What they said is that it's hillbilly music. That's what they call it. I like that term, actually. I like the term hillbilly music. Damn hillbilly music. And my parents, though, had been members of the Communist Party. This is, I guess, in the 1930s. They met at a YCL, Young Communist League dance in Brooklyn, sometime in the mid-30s, and got married. And they left the party just around the time I was born, maybe a year or two later. I was born in 1947. And I think the way my father put it is too many people were falling out of windows in Prague without any good explanation, and they were always the non-communist members of the coalition government. So around that time they left, and while they weren't folk music fans, they still had at home Paul Robeson records, and there may have been some records by the Almanac Singers and Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger. So these were things that were in the background, songs of the Spanish Civil War. My parents had a copy of the People's Songbook that I found as a child and went through it, and they just these wonderful songs that you never heard on the radio, and no one ever sang them that I knew. I mean, people did, like Viva la Quince Regatta and so on. And I just put that in the back of my mind. And then when I went to high school, I went to the same high school that Mike Agranoff went to. I was in his class. You know, obviously, you know Mike.
Sure.
And this was the Bronx High School of Science. And the Bronx High School of Science had a very, very active folk scene. So what happened is when I went to high school, suddenly there were these people singing all of these songs that was somewhere in the back of my mind that I had heard as a little child every once in a while, that I somehow knew about, but I didn't know very much about, and I just became fascinated. I took $17 and I bought a Harmony Stella guitar, and I started hanging out doing just about anything I could to learn music. I just hung around musicians. I went down to Washington Square Park on warm Sunday afternoons. I'm talking I was 13, 14, 15 years old at the time. And I met some people who I still know today. One of the people I met is, you know, Bob Lusk, who lives in the Hudson Valley and has an organization called, I believe it's Heritage Folk Music. He lives in Poughkeepsie area.
No, I don't
Oh,
know.
well, he wasn't there, but his organization just had Ann and myself do a concert at a Unitarian church in Poughkeepsie. So I met some people at the time that I still know today, and I realized that there was this active folk music scene. And when folk music became less and less popular, I stayed with it. And I'm still with it today.
Well, let's hear some more.
Let's hear some more. Okay. I'm going to do a rewrite of a traditional folk song. You'll recognize the song. It was originally a railroad song. I rewrote it as a trucker song. I'm going to be in B minor if you want to play along. Capo up on 2. I'm rolling down this road, got a 24-ton load. This rig is the only thing I own. And if I treat her right, I'll be home tomorrow night, 'cause I'm 900 miles from my home. And I hate to spend these winter nights alone, these long nights alone. I ride this road the most when I roll from coast to coast, from Frisco back to New York town. Every breakdown and delay means another lonely day, and I'm 900 miles from my home. And I hate to spend these winter nights alone, these long nights alone. I blew through Chicago just about an hour ago. Toledo is where I'll chow tonight. If I roll the whole night long, I'll hit Jersey just at dawn, 'cause I'm 900 miles from my home. And I hate to spend these winter nights alone, these long nights alone. Gonna climb that Palisade Ridge, then I'll roll across the bridge. I'll drop my load and head straight way to home for a day or two, and then I'll be on the road again. I'll be 900 miles from my home, and I hate to spend these winter nights alone, these long nights alone.
All right.
I guess you recognize the song that was based on.
900 miles from my home.
Right, a railroad song. And what's actually interesting is I wrote the song a few months ago, right?
Yes.
And when I sang it the first time to Ann, I had, I blew through Chicago just about an hour ago, and Toledo is where I'll dine tonight. She said, dine?
So we changed it to chow.
Yes, we looked around for
Tried to
synonyms.
think of a word that was a little bit less
So Ann came
fancy.
up. Ann came up with the word chow, and it just seemed to fit. And anyway, it's a good New Jersey song there. Right? You heard I got New Jersey in there, yes. So
Palisades Ridge.
right.
So we should tell folks how they can find out more information about your performing schedule and your recordings.
Oh, that's easy. I have a website. It's a very, very simple one. It's www.stevesuffet.com, C-O-M. And you could also email me, and my email address is ssuffet, SSUFFET, at NYC for New York City, .RR for Roadrunner.com.
Great.
And anyway, the thing that I think is just wonderful, I am really honored and delighted anytime I have a chance to perform with Ann. Shucks. She is really so good, and she keeps me on the straight and narrow. I would be all over the place doing raunchy songs and humorous songs that are not very funny, and what else? I don't know, third-rate rock and roll, fourth-rate reggae. I mean, things that I really I'm not very good at. You know, and she nonviolently kicks me in the behind every once in a while and keeps me going. And this was a partnership that evolved, where we actually do a lot of performances separately. We do a lot of things on our own, and she does a lot of material that I just wouldn't be able to attack at all, just beyond my abilities. And I do some things that frankly don't interest her. That's a nice way of putting it.
We have each other. We have complementary skills.
Well, we have.
He's much better at booking and publicity than I am.
And also,
he straightens out my chords when I get them wrong.
Yeah, I know more about music theory. She actually knows more about music. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense?
You know the theory. I have the better ear, I think.
That's right. She has a better ear. She has a better voice. She looks nicer.
Oh, stop it.
I know we act like we're married. We are, but not to each other. I have a wife, Marilyn. Marilyn, you out
Hi,
there?
Marilyn.
And
My husband Wayne is home.
somewhere.
Hi,
Okay. Anyway, any other questions?
You've got me speechless, Steve.
I can't be. Steve is good at talking.
Oh, that's right. That's one of my
That's one of his
lawsuits.
talents.
Very entertaining.
Well, thank you.
Why don't you share another song with us?
Okay, let's see. I'm going to do Next Year in a City of Peace, if I can remember it. I'm going to go up into E. I'm going to be on C capoed up 4. This was my fourth-rate reggae song, which I will not do as a reggae song. I'll do it as a nice folky song. Next year in a city of peace. Next year in a city of peace. It's next year in Jerusalem. Next year in Jerusalem. Next year in a city of peace. Yeah, all you children of Abraham, all you children of Abraham, you children of Ishmael and you children of Isaac, all you children of Abraham. It's next year in a city of hope. Next year in a city of hope. Next year in Jerusalem. Next year in Jerusalem. Next year in a city of hope. Homeless too long in Babylon. Homeless too long in Babylon. You children of Ishmael and you children of Isaac, homeless too long in Babylon. Next year in a city for all. Next year in a city for all. Next year in Jerusalem. Next year in Jerusalem. Next year in a city for all. Welcome to the bosom of Zion. Welcome to the bosom of Zion. You children of Ishmael and you children of Isaac, welcome to the bosom of Zion. Next year in a city of love. Next year in a city of love. Next year in Jerusalem. Next year in Jerusalem. Next year in a city of love. First verse again, we'll go out. Next year in a city of peace. Next year in a city of peace. Next year in Jerusalem. Next year in Jerusalem. Next year in a city of peace. And I guess for those who are familiar with the Passover Seder, the Passover ritual meal, it usually ends, in fact, it always ends with the words, next year in Jerusalem. And Jerusalem literally means place of peace, a rather ironic name for a city that's been under siege so many times and been the scene of so many bloody wars. So I simply took the phrase from the ending of the Passover Seder and built a song around it. As I said, there's also a reggae version. I think there's a dance hall version also, which I won't try to do. but actually, we do have a friend, Bruce Marco, who does the song as a reggae.
Sounds like a reggae.
And it says, and the welcome to the bosom of Zion and homeless too long in Babylon. Our lyrics Bob Marley could have written.
Yep.
I mean, actually, I had that in mind when I wrote it, but I'm glad that I kind of made it into the folky song. Fits my style better.
Very good.
Anyway, what else?
Well, we just have a few minutes left.
That's what I thought. You want to play harmonica?
Love to.
I'll do a real traditional song this time. I'm going to do Worried Man Blues. I'm going to do it in E. So I'm going to do it very slowly to start, right?
Before we start, let's plug your website one more time.
www.Steve Suffet, Suffet spelled SUFFET.com. And from there you can find links to my SoundClick pages that have music, and you could find links from there to YouTube and to CD Baby and so on. But if you just go with my name and put the com afterwards, it would work. I went down the river and I laid down to sleep. Well, I went down that river and I laid down to sleep. I went down that river and I laid down to sleep. When I woke up, hold it there, I had shackles on my feet. You got it right, we got it. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. Now I asked the judge, sir, what's gonna be my time? Now I asked the judge, sir, what's gonna be my time? I asked the judge, sir, said, what's gonna be my time? 21 years, boy, on that Rocky Mountain line. I got 21 years to pay for my awful crime. I got 21 years to pay for my awful crime. Got 21 years to pay for my awful crime. 21 years on that Rocky Mountain line. Ready? Here we go. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. Got 21 links of chain dangling from my leg. I got 21 links of chain dangling from my leg. Got 21 links of chain dangling from my leg, and on each link are the initials of my name. Ready? It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. Ready again. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. The sun is gonna shine through my back door someday. Oh, that sun is gonna shine through my back door someday. That sun is gonna shine through my back door someday. The wind from the river